ahead, Gal.
Hart, there's not a lot of centers that can stay with Antetokounmpo athletically the way that you did tonight, and obviously have the physicality to be able to kind of keep him off the block.
Yeah.
What's your mindset heading into this, knowing the position that you're going to be on both ends?
Just being physical. I mean, he's a great player in this league, and again, I'm not gonna do it by myself. I think we did a great job of playing team defense, and I think today you really saw how much that big lineup can really help. I mean, I think again, a lot of people focus on the offensive side, and I think we've made big leaps in that regard, playing together. But I think we're also figuring out the defensive side, and so I think we're learning every game. We're getting better every game. I think every game we've played, it looks better and better. And so me and Chet talk a lot. And I think that helps a lot. I think we're finding each other. He's coming off my screens, finding me, and vice versa. So I think the more we keep doing that, again, Mark is such a great coach of like adjusting during the game, and so I think him having that weapon, especially when the playoffs comes, when you have a smart coach like that, I think it gives him so many different options.
And when you are playing with Chet, I think specifically like offensively, obviously you're setting like pin downs for him,
Yeah.
and freeing him up like he's a
Yeah.
wing, but he's not
Yeah.
Joe. Like, how do you try to put him in position to score, knowing that he's still 7 foot?
I mean, to me, I think he's so skilled and he can do that. Like to me, like offensively, I think he has the skill set to play even the three. But again, we just had to figure out what spots to get into. I mean, if you played the five the whole season, I mean, the whole time he's been in the NBA, you have to figure out your spots again. And so I think at the beginning, when we started playing it didn't look great because we didn't know what spots to get to. And so I think now every game, he's starting to find his spots. He's starting to get more comfortable. I mean, he's handling the pick and roll. And so I think he's comfortable with that. He's not forcing anything. He's getting to his spots. And, yeah, it's been really impressive.
Mark was mentioning that some of the early strain on the two you playing together was that you were playing smaller teams, more premier oriented teams. Like, this is probably like the closer to like a perfect lineup that you want to play for you guys. But like, what do you carry over from this lineup to playing smaller teams?
I mean, I think it was a certain factor, but again, I think it was also him coming back, him playing the five the whole last year, and then we're like, you've been hurt for this long, but now go play a different position. And so I think it was a mixture between us figuring out how it would work together, and I think offensively we're starting to get there, and then defensively we're gonna keep getting better. And I think every game, like I said, every game we get better on both sides of the court, and that's been really impressive for me.
Were you aware of the career high, or were you even keeping track at all, or somebody to remind you on the bench?
I wasn't really keeping. I mean, I'm more of a looking at my assists sometimes. So, yeah. So it was cool, but.
Speaking of assists, I mean, normally you're the guy that's at the nail,
Yeah.
finding guys who are cutting and moving down the ball. A couple of times, Chet was finding you, and you were the one cutting. Just, what are those plays like for you?
Again, I think we're starting to figure out our spacing, and so he's so skilled that he's making those plays. He's coming off screens, making the easy read. I think he had an impressive. I don't think we scored off it, but he had an impressive pass where he looked at me. I think KPJ cut my pass off, and he had like a no-look pass to the corner. And so it just kind of plays like that to see from him getting more comfortable in those ball handling spots. It's been great.
Milwaukee has a pretty good offense. Now we're able to hold them scoreless there for about 6 minutes midway through the game. Just how were you able to just kind of have your way with them, particularly that stretch there where you kind of just getting
team defense. Again, I think what makes us great is all five are playing defense together. There's no, I mean, I think that's why a lot of people have to talk about it more, especially for Shai's MVP case. He's playing defense. He's not taking plays off. He's playing hard. We don't really have to, let's say, make up for him on defense. So just having him playing defense, I think helps our team a lot. So we're having 5 guys rotating, making the right defensive plays, and yeah.
Anybody else?
There was a, I mean, obviously there was a few lobs in this game.
Yeah.
It feels like I haven't been throwing any lobs more. I think there was one where Casey threw it.
Yeah.
Probably way out of your reach.
Yeah.
You still grabbed it. What are your conversations like as of late, just as far as what passes to throw, what position to throw in, that sort of thing?
I don't know. I mean, Kaysen definitely can't really throw a lob like that. That was terrible. But yeah, I'm starting to get up a little bit, so I can catch him. But I mean, I think we're so unselfish that I know they'll make the right play, and so I'm always ready for it. I mean, the funny thing, I think someone told me I had like 2 lobs the whole last year. So now having like 2 a game, it's been pretty cool.
Is that the personnel? Is that sort of like trying to introduce this new play style that you brought through? Like what?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's more also I'm just in different positions, and so I think being in different positions maybe just makes the lobs easier. So yeah.
Anybody else?
Appreciate you.
Against this team specifically, just given how much size they have, the way that they try to defend the interior, how critical did you feel like maybe coming into the game that your spacing, your shooting, your movement off the ball was going to be in the matchup?
I mean, we know this team that we want to work, inside out with their size. We have a great group of guys that can, facilitate and also be able to knock down shots, not just myself. So I think in a game like tonight, it just helped open the floor up, especially for like Shai. And then we got a lot of action with Chet and Hart with the rolls and, them playing in the mid-range or whatnot. But I think it was just one of those games we went hand in hand.
Antetokounmpo can get 40 very easily. A lot of times teams will put wings on him or other types of players. What did it say to be able to have a guy at Hart who's a center be able to kind of hold his own physically in that matchup and give you guys a really nice chance each possession?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely shows a lot of versatility, with the way that we can, guard them. Sometimes we'll have, Hart out there. If Dub was here, we might put him on him. But, Hart accepts the challenge. Even having Jay Will out there at times to, pick up the slack. So we just got a group of guys that are willing to lay their, bodies on the line no matter the matchup. We guard with all 5. We try not to leave anybody out on the island. We know that a person like Giannis, he just takes a lot of attention out there. And so being able to, guard him with all 5, not leave him on the island, make other people, make plays, we try to help out as best we could.
You mentioned Hart and Chet. I just wonder, obviously they're going to play like 12-ish games together, but it feels like this week, Boston today have been their best minutes. Like, what is it about the circumstances this week that kind of let them pop together?
I think it's just, like you said, they haven't played much together. So the more that they do, the more repetition they get out there on the court together, I think it just helps them, especially leading into postseason. They're both dangerous in their own, in their own ways, and so when they can play together and you see how it affects, you just kind of gotta pick your poison at times, and it leads to open dunks, open layups, and it opens up the game for everybody else.
And obviously, like, Chet's not running through screens like you are necessarily, but he's obviously coming off handoffs at times with him and coming off pin down. Like, what have you seen as far as the way he's sort of generated looks as like a moving wing almost when he plays for him?
Yeah, I mean, the last thing I think a team wants to do is guard Chet Holmgren that's moving off the ball. And I think he's doing a really good job of learning how to play in that aspect because, he's used to being the 5 out there, but now we have Isaiah Hartenstein and Jay Will that he can play off of as well. It allows him to just try kind of, tap into a new brand of basketball for himself, and he's doing a hell of a job, taking on that task.
the depth of this team continues to show up game after game for you. You come off the bench, and I think you scored a quick 11 points for the Thunder to kind of, get past the Bucks. You just every night it's someone else stepping up. It seems like.
Yeah. I mean, we have a deep roster. Everybody has the next man up mentality. You never know when your number's gonna be called. So when you're out there, you're just playing free. You know that the team has your back, and that when you go out there, you just have the utmost confidence. I think that's every single guy that we have on our roster is willing to come in the game and just do whatever it takes to come out with the win.
Just going on the road, 3 straight likely playoff teams, but against the East, you beat them all. Just what was working for you this whole 3-game stretch?
Yeah, playing with all 5 guys out there for 48 minutes, being the more aggressive team, being down bodies. We had to be the team to punch first, and I think that we did a pretty good job at that on this road trip, especially in these battles that we've been in. Teams that are very, very testy, that have been battle tested, to go out there and be able to work on our game and keep improving and keep just finding ways to be versatile, finding ways to win games, and finding ways to get better at the end of the day.
As Steve mentioned, the quick start that you had as soon as you checked into the game, just when you got out there, what were you seeing, or what were you able to kind of take advantage of there early on?
Shoot, me, I'm just always moving. I'm always looking for an open shot, no matter who we play. So when my teammates can find me and I'm able to knock down the shots, it just helps, open up the floor for everybody else. So when I'm out there, just continue to move, be versatile, try to keep them guessing.
Anybody else? Go ahead. That's fine. Very obviously, you guys have won 56 games. You're on pace for way more than that. Like dating back to last season, I don't want to say you guys have solved the regular season, but would you say you sort of come up with a formula to win regular season games in both, even down guys like Dub and Chet?
I think we just do a good job of taking it one game at a time. We know the end goal that we're all trying to achieve, and we know that it all starts in the now. You can't get too complacent and look too far in the future. So we do a really good job of just having that 0-0 mindset, attacking each game as if they hold the same amount of weight, and just continuing to grow as a team, no matter who we're playing.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, have a good one.
Now for the other Isaiah.
So it's a great team win, gutsy on the second night of a back-to-back. Didn't have a long stretch of the schedule, mostly on the road.
Yeah, but one that the team can be proud of. It's not new, but it seemed like there were 10 different ways that you guys got layups tonight. Is that feel off of one another at this point? Choreographed based on select their seeing or possession. What are you seeing out there?
I think it's the chemistry of the team. We've really formed a nice chemistry on the court. Great blend. Guys are playing to their strengths. And then trying to mix looks against the team that, really does a nice job of protecting the rim and has a lot of size to do so. So combination of those, but the guys have done an unbelievable job of just playing inside of their roles and playing together, competing together on both ends. And I thought that was on split night. More just thinking to the minutes with Hart and Chet. And obviously, I think Hart was like a plus 23 or something like that. But offensively, like we talked before the game about seeing that pairing against some size, like to see what they did in their minutes. How encouraging is that? I don't know, 10 or 11, 12 games into playing together. Yeah, I thought both ends tonight really good, and it's improved over the course of the amount of games that we've done it, which is expected. They're good players, they're impactful players, they want to get it right, they work together, they work inside the team. So it's no surprise, but it's definitely improved. And then I think early on, when we were playing that lineup, we were playing it against perimeter-oriented teams, which can skew your impression of it. And I thought tonight we used it against a team that it was really, impactful against, having Hart with his chest on. Giannis and Jay Will. I mean, Jay Will took a lot of those minutes as well. And then had a Chet behind it specifically. It was a powerful combination. I thought that was to hold him to 21 points, some lower to 19 is really hard to do. And we did a great job with tonight.
And with that, because I know obviously you're going to play that lineup regardless because you want to see the wrinkle now and have it prepared for the belt. But is it safe to say that that's the sort of lineup you're bracing for when you play that?
And beyond. and beyond, not limited to this. It was certainly something we circled this one because we knew we were going to get a great look at it and learn a lot. And it looked great, but even if it didn't, it would have given us a nice blueprint for what to work on in the last 15 games. But yeah, I mean, those are two of our best players, so we're going to find a way to get them on the court, included together, really against any matchup. The other night against Boston, and we didn't start that way, but we went that way in the second unit. We're still learning it, but those guys I thought were big time to her.
When you hear it, your team is 24-1 versus the East, what do you think?
I just stack up to that, like it's not a goal, going into the season. We just play the game in front of us, compete together, improve through the season, and let the results be what they are. And if the results are good, that's great. And if they're not, we'll learn from them. But this team's accomplished great things so far this season, but we've done it a day at a time, and we got to continue to have that mindset.
Shea doesn't make a single 3-pointer yet, still ends up with 31 points. Just what does that say about kind of the diversification of his offensive game, type of ways he can score?
Yeah, he shot the three well, this season, and he couldn't really find that tonight. He got a great look at the end of the half. I know he was mad about that not going down, but he just has a great blend and found his stuff in the flow of the game. Yeah, he didn't, I think, play his best offensive game tonight, but still had a very steady hand. We gutted this one out, physically. That game last night, we've been on the road really since All-Star break, and then the game last night was a ball. And there are a lot of, Caruso's getting over his sickness, Wiggins is getting over his sickness. Guys are banged up, and we played hard minutes last night, including Shea, and so to drum it up against a team like this on the road is really impressive.
How critical is Isaiah Joe's, footwork, spacing, getting free and hunting those shots against a team that's got that level of size, just to kind of spread them out, space them out?
At the Ijo, when we started to get separation in the game, he was in the middle of that, with a couple of big shots, and he had great activity, and he found the cut, from Hart that he got fouled on, and he shook himself loose, on a lot of plays, and I thought he did that last night. He didn't shoot as well last night, but he's doing a great job of finding the openings on the floor, and the guys are doing a great job of hunting him. And he's a potent shooter. We got to find him when he's open, and the guys have done a great job of doing that. He has had a lot of attempts here the last few games.
Anyone else? Go ahead, you all. It feels like one of the underrated developments of Shea and showing him as a defender is how good of a shot blocker he's become. I just wonder, how do you see them? I know he's not often put in those positions at the rim, but how do you see him attack those moments when he gets them, and what sort of went into how productive he's been as a shot blocker for a guard?
Yeah, I mean, he's just got great length and great instincts, and that I think impacts the steals, and it impacts his shot contesting, and it impacts his shot blocking, and deterrence at the rim. But he's got long arms and great instincts. He's seen the pictures at this point. He can take some of the main matchups, but having the point of attack defenders that we do allows us to shift him to secondary matchups, which makes him an impactful help player. And that's where he gets the weak side steals. That's where he gets the closeout shot contests, and that's where he gets the rim contests. And it really maximizes his strength. So it's a credit to him and his instincts, and it's also a credit to the team and having guys that can take the other matchups that allow him to roam, allow Chet to roam in the starting lineup tonight. So, but yeah, he's an impactful two-way player, and it's something you've known for a long time. It would be the defense that we are. A 35-minute player like him was a great defender.
Anyone else? Keep up.